What is going on, guys? SlickB here, and today we have a pretty special clip. Now, this is a game I had last night. I was recording for the SG-100Y. I'm going to be doing a best of for this tank. It's an amazing tank. You know, I definitely recommend buying it just before I even put the video out. This thing is fucking fun to play. But what you see here is me getting flanked by a A30. What is this tank called? It's an A30 Challenger, maybe? It's a British tank, British medium tank. I die, right? I respawn in a T-34. That's one of the highlights of the SG-100Y. I'll speak about it more, obviously, in the Best Of series. But, like, tanks that are at its BR that you can choose, you can get a very strong lineup for, you know, oh, it's the Avenger. Okay. You can get a very strong lineup for, you know, no money at all. Now, I spawned in the T-34. I could have spawned in the SG-100Y, but I wanted to win this game. I'm just going to, you know, you can see the title. I'm going to title it something that has to do with the game, obviously. We lose this. It's very upsetting because I ended up getting 8 kills. Now, an 8-kill game, it hurts to lose, obviously. But what hurt even more was how fast I had knocked these dudes out. So the beach was really, you know, we lost the beach super fast. They had a bunch of tanks push up and take the beach. The tanks that they used to take the beach, though, were all British and American tanks that have absolutely no armor. There's 2 Hellcats, there's a Comet, and there was that Challenge, or the Avenger. All have no armor. So what does the T-34 do? One-shots every single one of them. I have never had this easy of a time getting 5 kills in rapid succession. It was insane how fast I knocked these dudes off. Now, a lot of people say, well, the T-34 is OP. I had no issues with it being OP in this situation. It was just luck of the draw. I was fighting tanks that all would have gotten one shot by any tank I was using. If I was in a Panther, I could have one-shotted all these tanks. It was just that easy. All these tanks have no armor. But I want to talk about getting let down by your team, right? So, because this hasn't happened to me in quite some time. I haven't lost a game where I've been doing very well in quite some time. And that's not saying that I'm perfect and I always win. If I lose a game, I usually die first and I hop out. I don't see the loss, you know. And I'm not saying that I'm the difference maker either. I've had a ton of games where I don't do anything and the rest of my team rolls people. Or we lose. But I've never had a game quite like this. It was very, very interesting. So you see me knock off I think two tanks already. And now I'm fighting a Jumbo who is completely hulled down. Now he bounces off of me. He's still got the short 75, so, you know, from that angle, it's going to be difficult. I knocked out his gun, hoping that, you know, maybe that would stop him. I think it did. I think it messed him up for a little while. And it paved the way for him to get bombed, actually, which is fantastic on my part, because I was not going to pen him from this spot. But he gets bombed by the 25, which is amazing. I'm just like, okay, thank you. Now, a lot of people will say, okay, that was funny too. That dude just should have just stopped and shot me. But instead, he kept pushing around, thinking that my reload wasn't up yet, and I just punished him for it. Hellcats are really good if they're used correctly, but when they get in the wrong position, that's not even his fault, but when you get in the wrong position with a Hellcat, you're dead. It's the same thing with like a Leopard. You know, you don't get many chances. But a lot of people will say the T-34 is OP. At least the 85 I wouldn't say is too OP. I've had issues penning it, obviously, but I think part of the reason that this tank is so good, because it's obviously a good tank, I wouldn't say it's OP, but it is a very good tank, is its maneuverability coupled with its turret rotation and the gun. It has average everything and above average a lot of things. You know, nothing on this tank is bad. You know, the armor's not bad. The turret rotation's not bad, the gun's not bad, the ammo types aren't bad. There's nothing bad on this tank, which makes it a very solid tank, especially at its BR. You know, the gun I would say is good. I would say the armor's average. The turret rotation is pretty good, you know, pretty decent. The maneuverability for this tank, for a medium tank, is a lot better than some medium tanks, like, for example, the Panther. I would rather have a T-35 than a Panther, or a T-34 than a Panther. What is a T-35? I don't know. But I'd rather have one of these than a Panther at this BR. You know, this thing is just way more maneuverable. I would say the Panther's gun's a lot better, but this thing's a lot more maneuverable. And you can move around the battlefield a lot easier, especially when fighting these types of tanks. So another reason is the things that it fights. So because it's so maneuverable, right? And it's for its BR, the enemy tanks that it fights are a lot faster than it. But that's why it's good. So a Panther in the same situation that I'm in now would not have done the same thing that the T-35, why am I trying to say T-35? T-34 85 would have done. And the reason for that is the Panther is a lot slower to react. While it is a medium tank, and it's a lot faster than the Tiger, the Panther is still slow on traverse, still slow on turret rotation. It's still slow for everything, right? It's a slower tank, but you give all that up for the one really good gun. Now the Panther would be a lot better in a sniping situation, but the T-34-85, when it has to react to these fast tanks running around it, like these tanks, it just murders them. It is completely... if I was in a Panther for that spot right there, I would not have gotten that shot off. I wouldn't have been able to get up over that mound, get the gun over, get the turret rotated, get the gun down fast enough to shoot him. And that's facts. That's the truth. So the reason why a lot of people will say this tank is OP is because it deals with the tanks that are a lot faster than it at its BR way better than most tanks. You know, a Hellcat can flank a Panther a lot easier than it can flank a T-34-85 because the T-34 is a lot faster at reacting. Now, I know this is a little bit of a jamble, me speaking. I'm just kind of, obviously I don't have scripts for any of this stuff ever, but it just is a better tank reacting at most situations. It's not such a fine tank. It's good at almost everything, and it's a well-rounded machine. That's the word I'm looking for. While the Panther, well, I'm comparing it to the Panther. I know the Panther's a little bit higher BR, but I think that would be about, you know, the equivalent, because nobody says the Panther's OP, right? Nobody's like, oh, the Panther's fucking OP, because it has better armor, I would say. It has a better gun, but it can't react the way a T-34 can. And the reason I'm not using T-44 for this is because I think the T-34 is a lot better than the T-44. Regardless, do you understand what I'm saying? So, tanks that we usually consider OP, the moral of the story, are usually just better at reacting to different types of situations. Is that fair enough? Because, you know, you have a tank that is really, really good at one thing. Let's say the tank is really good at sniping. We'll use the Panther. I don't want to use the Panther. Let's say the tank that's the Conway. So the Conway is a really, really good sniper. But the turret rotation, coupled with the traverse time, it's not a good, well-rounded tank. You can't bring that thing into the city and do well every time. Sometimes you will, but the tank's tall, you need to snipe with it, right? As opposed to a Leopard, which is a well-rounded machine. So the reason why we say these tanks are OP is because of how well they adapt in the situations they're in. The Leopard is fast, it's maneuverable, it has a great gun, it has good turret traverse, it has good elevation and depression on the gun, you know, like it goes up and down fast. It's fast, it can maneuver around the battlefield super quick. That's why we say it's OP. It's not because the vehicle is actually overpowered, it's because it can handle every situation that it gets put in with ease. Now maybe, you know what I mean, I guess that might be the definition of being overpowered, but hear me out. Do you understand what I'm saying? Some of the vehicles, when they're not played in the proper way, they become useless. It's like bringing the Jagdtiger into a city and expecting to do insane. You just can't. You absolutely cannot, because it just can't react to the situations it's put in. Well, that was my spiel for today. It was a very heartbreaking game that we lost. I tried to hop into a ZSU as fast as possible. You see me drop the 5,000 kilogram bomb and then J out immediately, trying to hop into a tank. I ended up getting a double with that and couldn't kill this damn comet, which is upsetting. But it was not a bad game overall. I think it was pretty damn interesting, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this rambling, put in your 2 cents. Let's have a community discussion about it. I like having talks about it. Anyway, it's been your boy Slick. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.